Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Wow, got a good echo there.
Good thing. Hello. Hello.
Shh. Sorry, just catching up on the last few links here. And we'll just kind of get started. Ooh, I'm going to have to change that text piece because that's a little hard to see. Oh, thank you. Go get a chair. All right. Yeah, I noticed that too. Where is? So they did an update, and then I had to completely like rebuild my. What do you mean? So yeah, I had to like completely rebuild the whole interface, layout, everything. So it's just so at least I can get the what you call it, the chat back on there. Let me see if I can get this thing dynamic fixed. How's it going? Well, at least it's yeah, see, I've got the welcome messages now working with the new update, and because I had to do a new update, it wiped out everybody's logins. So this Streamlabs doesn't know anyone. You think you make a good backup, and then it doesn't work. So, hey, it happens. And we'll get the printers all fired up here in a little bit, show off some of the new toys that I got. Can you take that to the kitchen, please? Thank you so much. That's all right. And just in case while I'm doing this, yes, I was able to do a dual color off of the X5S, so we will get that, talk about that a little bit, and kind of worry about that in a little while. All right, hold on. Yes, baby.
Should I sit more in the camera?
You're fine right there. I can move the camera in here in just a minute. Let's try that. Okay. Hold on. Don't tell me I broke the whole chat just because it changed the color. Alright. See if that refreshes. It's even giving me my own welcome message. Okay, there we go. Yes.
Do you see the cement?
What?
Do you see the cement right beside the YouTube?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means it thinks we have 7 people watching, which is good. Can you ask Mommy to fill up my drink, please? Thank you so much. Oh, all right. So yeah, make it so the kiddo can, when he comes in, can be seen. Oh, yeah, I know, right? So got a bunch of little toys now. I know I didn't need to buy actual cable clamps, and I can print them, but I mean they were only like $1.50. So that saves print time, so I can do some cable management. Got another whole box of spade clips because, you know, I didn't have enough. Of course, get a Cat 5 jack. Oh man, why did it do the color like that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it where I can plug in the network cable from the outside of the frame case. Hold on, I'm getting a message. My phone's blowing up here. Oh, nice, Scott. Those are some awesome pictures. Be pretty nice when you get your all that done, so you can go into the office. So yeah, I got a couple of those Cat 5 converters. What else did I get? Oh, I got my actual pair of JST crimps. Thank you, Bubba. And because they had it on sale, of course, get your snap ring pliers. So when I start messing with his printer, I can do the IGUS bearings if I gotta change it out or whatever. These I've been waiting on so much. They're the ball end ones. And I love this part. It's a little hard to focus, but lifetime warranty. And I mean, look at these. I mean, they're nice, good size. So they got all the way down to 1.27. So that'll help get some of the hot end pieces and everything fixed. I don't know how well for the spade connectors, but I also got just a regular ratcheting crimp tool. But it doesn't have good smooth motion.
Where did it go?
It's right here. So yeah, I gotta. It catches a bit. I mean, I know it's ratcheting and it's supposed to catch, but it's like it doesn't feel like, even if I grease it up, like it's like something else is like misaligned. But I don't know about this one. It was the only one that they really had, but I'm gonna try to like just clean it up and see if that fixes it, but I don't know. And then I also got, because I'm going to be redoing a lot of the wiring for his and for the rest of the printers too, which is why I got everything out. But got a whole like multi-pack of those ferrules and the nice square ratchet that came with it. We can make it all nice and hardy.
It's stuck.
You gotta squeeze it more to release. See, like this one, I mean, you can get a nice good, squeeze it, and it pops right back open. And I was trying to find just the replacement to go with just those regulars, but I didn't see it right offhand. But I may just look on their website to see if they've got the piece that I can swap out.
It looks like teeth on this one.
Yeah. But other news. I got the hardboard for the big Delta base, so that I can do a lot like I did on this other one, where I've got the risers, which I've already got. I've already got printed out.
And it came from Home Depot.
Yeah. Right. And then I've got some backer board, if I remember the name right. I'm thinking of like cutting that, because one, the length of the extrusion piece that would fit that side panel is too big on this one to fit on pretty much any printer, and I can only go vertical on this one. So I figured I might as well make it a little bit stiffer, since it's going to be screwed in anyway. But I mean, it was so cheap to just get enough of it. I think I'm going to just redo the ones, even though I started to print them, but I would only have to drill vent holes, you know, or just cut one big hole and then just print a good cover to go on it, rather than, you know, reprint this, because I got the holes all misaligned. So rather than reprint that and everything, I think I might just do backer board, so it gives a little bit more rigidity anyway. But Yep. And apparently my timers are not working like they're supposed to. Man, this thing, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, it says every 5 minutes it's supposed to be doing it. But it hasn't, like, sent off any of them. That's... Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it is doing it.
Just,
Yeah, I got to figure out how to do the YouTube bot, because it's not... I mean, I don't want it to just come out from me. But this thing... There's not a lot of clear guidance on how to make a YouTube bot. I mean, everybody has got it for Twitch, but that's built into their website, not so much this side. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Did you really like that 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 Mario guy made?
Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
And I guess the only other real big news is I got 2 more refurbished little Wi-Fi plugs. So now, actually, yeah, the 2 Deltas now have their own plugs. So now all 4 printers can all be wirelessly turned on. So, and there's the Trunksy little song to start up.
I really like that song.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't really like the song, but then again, you know,
It works.
it is very noticeable that, you know, it works. So that's nice. The only thing I would ask, Rover, is whether or not they are going to get in trouble by doing a dual stream like that. From what I've been hearing from some other people, Twitch and YouTube, even though they're supposed to be like friendly companies to each other because they are competing, that, you know, it may. Matter control, honestly, I have not printed anything in almost 2 weeks. Really, even last live, I didn't really print much. I've been trying to get like just the calibration of the Trunksy going, so, but once I played around with it a little bit for it, I just went to bed. I was kind of tired of messing with it, so I haven't really done anything. But this week, that is one thing I want to really do, is get playing with matter control. Yeah, it's right there, and then the power cable should be over in the corner.
I'm wondering if should I play with my old pen or
Old pen, new pen, whichever pen. Alright, let's see if I can, yeah. Alright, so... Don't forget Z adjustment on the fly during... I haven't had to do too many live Z adjustments, though. Both the Deltas have probes that I can do the live Z. The Trunksy, I haven't really had to. I mean, I get the bed level pretty set, you know, on the first few prints, and then I never really have to mess with it after that. The E10, I've actually got to swap the board out to my other ANET board that I've already got the mod on the back, and that's just super glue to protect it, but I've already got the extra wire soldered into the pin, so I don't have to actually like do anything to the ribbon cable. And then I've got all the other wires, so and this one's already loaded with BL Touch, so Just got to swap it out. What's up?
Still wondering where's the extension.
The big white cable that's on the floor, Bubba.
But it's already connected.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the wall. Oh, unplug the bottom black one. Yeah, and then plug that in. Just don't touch the metal prongs when you're... Now don't unplug that. Just move that to the side. Yeah, find the end of that.
Oopsie.
That's okay. Yeah, and then unplug that black cable. There you go. That was for the laptop up here. Oh, and if anybody's interested, I'm going to be posting my old laptop. It's a nice little... I can't hardly do it while I'm streaming, but it's the detachable tablet keyboard laptop. I don't use it. It was mainly made for Windows 8, but it has a current license for Windows 10. Works great. I'd never use it. I've got my big full power i7 laptop, so this thing just, I got it for me for when I go like on call and I'm out and about, then I can start playing with it. But I mean, it's a Core i5. It can do the wireless or the chip, you know, so you have cell internet. It was through Verizon, and I've got the power cable and a little travel bag for it. I mean, every now and then the keyboard, like when you go to start it up, every now and then this connection, for whatever reason, like doesn't want to let it start it up unless you tap the mouse a few times, and then it'll come up fine. Or you can disconnect it, start it up, and then hook it right back into the base, and then everything's fine. I've asked Dell about it, and they're like, so I don't know. It's just a little oddity on it. Yeah. Silly. All right. Did you start this up the right way?
No, I'm just waiting.
There you go. PLA. There you go. Now it's gonna warm up.
But what does it say PLA?
Because that's not ABS.
What's ABS?
ABS is a higher temperature plastic that we don't have to print with. And if they go too hot with that PLA, it won't do it right.
So
I don't know, Rover. I guess make me an offer.
I'm wondering what's gonna.
You can send it in PM. You don't have to send it in chat if you want. Or you can just send it straight to the PayPal, and you know, I don't know. Nah, probably have to agree on a price first.
What am I gonna hold this with?
I don't really have anything that's available to hold it. So just kind of leave it to the side wherever you're printing on. Speaking of which, oh yeah, there's your blue thing. Let me move that out of the way.
I wanted to print something without these things.
Without what things?
These.
Okay, well just print on the blue so it sticks to something, but you don't have to use the cards. Oh, and just to kind of get everybody up to speed, the E2, I got it working, as you can see from the dual extrusion, but I bought a pack of these, if I can pick them up.
Can you clean these out?
Yeah. There's the
spray.
And there's the rack. Here. There you go. Just wipe it off. Should be good. All right. So the E2 ended up wow, it's making a backup right then and there. The E2 had a problem with the throat, so I ended up getting like a whole baggie of them. They said that they were the drop-in Cyclops throats. They're not. So what this was actually made for, and it's a bit hard to see, but they came in 2 sets. It was lined and unlined, right? And is it going in? If it's not going in easy, just
Trying to pull in this part of my
yeah, it's grabbing it. Oh, okay, I see.
It's not clipped through.
Get the blue clippers right over there.
What about
Sorry,
that?
hold on
Oh,
a second. I'll go back to the story. There you go. Now it's loading. Now you'll be able to print. And don't.
You're gonna push the back
Yep,
up.
it's gonna start pushing it out any second.
Yep, it's going.
All right. Okay. So back to the thing. So they gave me it's lined and unlined, and hopefully it'll do it. So this one is the unlined, and you see it's. Come on, focus. All right. Well, I shared a picture of it, but man, come on. There we go. All right. So the unlined is big enough to let the PTFE go all the way through, and then the lined one has that little break in it to stop the PTFE tube. So these are basically standard throats, lined and unlined, but just with a smooth wall instead of threaded. So that didn't really help me at all, because the factory one has a very big V-notch. Here, I'll kind of show the munchkin working here. The standard one has a very large V-notch and it goes all the way down until, you know, it hits the 1.75 diameter, so that out of either channel it'll catch it easier and go right in. But mine was missing the PTFE liner, so once it got to the other side, it was just a big cavity, and as of due normal retraction, it was solidifying right there in the throat, and I couldn't do anything. I took out one of these liners because it was just small enough that even after drilling it out a little bit, which apparently I don't have the right size, even though I measured it with calipers, all it did was smooth out the throat, but it never made it just that hair bigger that I would need it to slide the standard PTFE tube in it. So since I already had these on order and they were supposed to be drop replacements, I took one of the liners out of this, slid it right in. Still a really tight fit when you get close to the very top, but now it prints with the factory throat. So I have not found any other drop replacements at this point. I'm still on the hunt for it because I want spares. But yeah, I think all in all, that clone Chimera, or excuse me, clone Cyclops is okay as long as the proper throat was being used. I think that's kind of the big hang up that I'm having with it. But again, now that I've got a lined piece shoved in there, so far it's been printing decent. The only problem I've got right now, and I don't, where did the 2-color print piece go? The number 1, 2 thing. Where did you put them? Okay. Anyway, the big thing that I'm having the issue with is that Rhino Reel Red. I kind of always have little issues with, and it looked like it was under extruding for that one. So, you know, and it also could be the fact that there's no tensioner on that motor. Combination of the both, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a little crazy. Okay, let me get caught up on the chat here since apparently it's going and I'm not really paying attention too much. Sorry about that. Yeah. Finding on that feed to put extra. Took myself on a metal frame kit. The metal frame kit, the ANET E10 already has, it's like a CR10, so it basically is a metal kit. But the kids printer, we're going to be doing a printed frame, so a little bit different. No, Rover, sorry. Can't do free, but I could do payments if you wanted to try to do something like that. Hey, Tanner. Sorry for the long delay there. Yes, I am allowed to catch up on chat there, Scott. Thanks. I've got it on a whole different screen so I can read all the other stuff. Oh, Craig, don't tell me you're going to sell it, man. Okay, there we go. Lagged out his feed. Yeah. I sold on the multiple filaments into one. True. I mainly just wanted to try it, and this was kind of the cheapest way that I found to get a motor, a 32-bit board, a touchscreen, and a dual head. I mean, like, I haven't seen anything that would match that price to get all of those things and already have it be working, you know. Do I like the fact that it's closed source? Not really, but at the same time, my issues were just a bad throat. So other than that, it's been working pretty much from day one, and weirdly enough, my Octoprint is starting to go better. Like, it's actually talking to it and getting the correct commands. Now I'm just trying to finalize getting the temperature readouts, because Octoprint doesn't talk to it the same way, because it's also not like a standard open source firmware, so it reports things back differently than the standard, and you can't change it. So I'm having to try to play with that. Now that I've gotten that, I kind of wanted to look at either, but though King, it's same kind of thing, would be like either the diamond head where it's the 3-in-1, but I don't know. I like having a single nozzle, mainly because getting one nozzle lined up and, you know, Z height, calibrated, aligned, sometimes is a pain. So I don't know about doing a separate whole nozzle path, even if it's on, was that the Chimera, where it's 2 in, 2 out, but it's like one big heat block, but it's 2 filament paths, so you can't. Yeah, but it just, I don't know. I guess to each of their own. I mean, I personally don't want to deal with that, but you know. All right, well, AFX, I'm going to tell you right now, that is not acceptable kind of chat on this thing. So if you're going to talk like that, then I don't need you part of this community or being part of my channel, please. This is having kids. It's going to be family friendly. So no, we're not gonna do that.
Look at that. Made a golden back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a golden
The user control backs on the side of his printer as it does comments. Oh, are you talking about like the what is that called? The palette 2 or even the MMU2? Because I don't know if y'all see up there. What's his name? Shane, Fugatech Printing, just did his Mark III clone project, and the BOM was like 550, 560, somewhere around there. And so I put, that's the next cool project that I want to try to work on. So if I can do that, then I'd be able to get an official like MMU2, because it's running the real board, though it's a clone, but a cloned board, but the exact same one, and the official firmware should be able to pull off an MMU2. But that still goes with the single nozzle, multiple colors. So sorry there, King. Yeah, the Flash Forge, that was the one I was thinking that has the 2 nozzles. There's supposed to be some new code in Marlin 2.0 where you can set it where even if you have the nozzles that like dance to line up so that they don't hit. Though I don't know, that seems like that would be a little bit crazier, you know. But I mean, if someone wanted to sponsor, you know, or co-sponsor a deal like that, I mean, I don't mind trying new technology and seeing how it all works.
It's a lot of gold.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold filament.
Because he's gonna be golden.
He's gonna be golden. Doing a golden SpongeBob.
Drawn out its eye. I'm getting used to beef 3D printing.
Yeah, I know. He's getting a lot better. He hasn't designed too many more things, but he's been playing around with all the other toys, so, you know. I just got to get back to the printing his printer. But the big thing that, like, I'm having a problem with... Where did I put it? There it is. Got to figure out some frame bracing, because... I don't know if y'all can, if it's showing the shadows right, but all of these ribs, they're getting spaced out like almost perfectly, but I don't know what it's from. But if you look at the entire single print, they only start right about here. So all of this is perfectly smooth, even, but it's all up here is where it starts getting that space, you know, wobble. And that's on the large brand new Delta, the one that can do the 600.
The 600 inches?
600 millimeters.
I was gonna say that.
So it looks like it's about, it's hard to see at this angle, but it's almost every 10 millimeters. It's like each one of these little bands is a 10 millimeter little band. So that's really strange that I'm having a weird like 10 millimeter almost like wobble. Especially if it's belt driven. Unless... No. I was thinking maybe wheels, because it is a pulley, not a linear. But it's 3 different axes. So if like one set of wheels had a dip in it, I mean, they're having to move for, you know, in the balance of all three going. So that, I don't know. That's kind of what I was trying to hit you up before there, King, was to find out, since you built your Delta, like, if you had any tips on this one that I might be able to look at. I do plan on, since I dropped the bed and gained about 30 millimeters, so I can actually print about 630. I've got top corner frame braces. Granted, I'm only losing about 15, almost 20 millimeters, you know, for the top of the carriage to come up from where the current end stop aligns. So I'm thinking of just putting that to brace it. But I guess if need be, though it's huge, that other print we did last week, this is the frame block that the guy came up with. So it's supposed to be universal, so you just put the bolts in right onto the extrusion, and then you've got your two sides with holes already pre-done to, you know, help make the box. And I mean, it's a huge, big print. I don't think it needs to be quite that big to get the effect that you're trying to do. But that's the other thing. I may just temporarily make some and put it around the three corners and put a frame around at least the top. But I'm thinking I may do like the whole back wall on the two sides, and then only a half wall on the front, to get like when it's full in park, that you can still see right below it to the hot end, but the whole upper half that doesn't do anything can just, you know, stay closed. Though I may do that plexi. I don't know.
I didn't want me to print 450.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, the eccentric wheels. I mean, it's got the two sets of eccentric nuts on, you know, one side of the four-wheel carriage on all three. It's not a three-wheel, it's actually a true four-wheel. But that, yeah, that's why I'm at a loss. The only other thing I can think of is when it was getting higher, that the zip tie cable holder to get the hot end cable holders out, that it was dipping really low, and this was, I put it on now. I didn't have it when I was doing this. I'm wondering if like the hot end cables were like, it was tapping it, but at the same time it wouldn't be spaced evenly. So I don't know. My Linear Plus doesn't do that, but this is taller than what I can print on the Linear Plus anyway. So, I mean, this is 320, and my max volume on the Linear Plus is like 298. So, but yeah. Well, this one, I would like to get it figured out for the large 500 millimeter, you know, straight pieces that I need. What are you doing, Bubba? Oh, you're changing colors? Okay. And then when we get like that, then we just trip that little. Okay, here. Also, all the scrap pieces there. It's not, they're cold. Now you're gonna use the orange?
For the brown pieces.
Huh?
I'm gonna use the orange
for the tie?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
I'm gonna use a little bit.
Yeah.
This. I need this too.
One of the guys was trying to tell me that, look at it. Yeah, you go right, you go sideways, right under the edge of the filament.
And then
There you go. One of the other guys in the forum for this HE3D was telling me that Oh, that's weird. Sorry, I'm just seeing a different little like noise artifact on here. There's a diagonal line, like every so often you can see it going through. Now, granted, I didn't do this high resolution. This is 2427. I just wanted it to basically be done, and I mean it's thick enough, you know. Now, granted, I could just go to Home Depot and buy this tubing that is needed for his printer, but I mean that's kind of why I bought the printer, so we could do a full printed printer. But you know, I originally had designed up some cup links that I could put in between these pipes so that, you know, I can connect multiples. It just, I didn't do my initial measurement very well, but now that I've got this going, I mean, you know. Let's see. Would you at least be able to see the change in the top portion on? Yeah. I mean, I've printed almost to the max volume on or height on my linear, and I don't have any weird ringing or wobbles like this. I don't have anything on that one. But again, because it has the linear rails holding the extrusion, I also don't have any frame wobble, and that was one of the things that one of the guys in the group was saying, was that you got that whole thing out just for that little bit.
Yes. I told you I was going to do the tie.
I know you said it, but I didn't think it was only going to be that much. Oh well, hey, this is your bin. I mean, other than the two. Well, no, you can have pretty much everything. I've got all the colors in there anyway. But yeah, in the HE3D group, he was saying that, you know, due to the height and it's only just 2020 extrusion, that the top of the frame, when it starts moving and getting higher, that it's causing the whole thing to kind of shift and rock. Which I kind of would believe, but then it keeps coming back to, it's a set space. I mean, these are measuring out almost 10 millimeters on the dot between each like, it's hard to see on the one side, but then when you go to the color wave, it's about 9 to 10 on every single one. It's hard to see like where the actual color transition. But it goes from really pronounced at the top end to, you know, where it keeps getting more and more faded, but it's still like the same distance. So I don't know. That's unique. Plus, this is being the biggest delta that I've had, and a lot of people. What's wrong?
It's not going through. On the right angle. Or is it on the wrong side?
There it goes.
Is it on the wrong
You gotta get it where the curl, look where the curl is almost going this way. That way it'll feed it into the tube, because it's getting caught otherwise. And then once it gets going, it's fine. Can you twist the top of the delta frame and get movement? I mean, yeah, I can rock it. Just even like turning this. I mean, I can feel it like rocking it, but I mean, you could barely do it on the linear. But I also got a top, you know, mount for the spool holder, so I don't know if that. Yeah. The other thing I thought of too is the filament tubing, because I have done it a couple of times. I need to find a better way to attach it, kind of like I did on my linear, where it comes from the top, but it's so high up there. I don't want to do the top thing again. But when it does the curl, I've gotten it hit on that bracket. It's been a couple of times where it snagged right at the top as it was going up to home, and it made it interesting. But yeah, there's the E10. I've got to get things adjusted on it, but it's enclosed. I've got my white LED lights and my purple UV lights for glow in the darks.
Wait.
I got to reprint the camera cap so it's not white. So it goes back to black like all the rest of it, even though, yeah, I know the cable is white, but still. I don't want the white to like adjust any reflection on anything. I got to mount the screen. I was kind of thinking of doing, because it's got the little bit of feet, to almost doing like the Prusa little front attachment, because it's just a single cable, but it's the standard ANET 5-button. I took off the smart graphics. It's hard to see, but it's all the way back there. I took off that one because it needs 2 of the ribbon cable sets, and it's so long. Speaking of the glass, it's hard to see. Let me see if I can actually just pull up the. Hold on. See if this works. All right. So the glass that you're looking at, that's from on the Tronxy, that is just annealed glass. It's not tempered. It's not Boro. It was an $8 sheet of 310 or 330 by 330, just annealed glass. So it can do the higher temperature, but not like all the way up to tempered, because that was going to cost me way too much. At a local glass shop, and all I did was put some of the Kapton spool roll that I ended up getting with the Maker Farm, which, by the way, I finally got rid of because I wasn't doing anything with it anyway. I just put some of this on that glass, and I haven't had any issues. I was actually thinking of attempting, just because now that I got the full 24-volt bed or power supply for the bed, and I can get to the temps a lot better and hold them better, I'm thinking of just trying just straight glass with nothing on it, period. Just not even glue stick, just straight glass, because it's hard to see, but right at the very bottom edge of the camera frame, there's a piece of this tape that peeled off, and that was strictly from me. I kind of gouged it with the nozzle, but then when I went to scrape off the print, I cut it more, but it stuck even on that in that void space with nothing. So I'm thinking of just trying straight just the glass. That's one less step that I've got to worry about too. Yeah. No, you got the feet and that. Okay. What else you want to do?
I was gonna do
that in what color?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you got a whole thing of it, so you can pick whatever color you want. Just not that green. That one. Can you hand me that one? That's my special one. Oh.
Or just
Oh, come on, focus. Come on.
Do you think I have enough for this?
There we go. Green to yellow. Part of the sample pack. Haven't used it yet. I wanna try that one out. But I gotta think of something. Ooh, there we go. I don't know if you can see. It was already, just the hand heat was already starting to do it.
Do what? The color change?
Oh, the PET G. Yeah, I don't print a lot of PET G right at the moment, though I have some, but that was the main reason why I went with that tape. I haven't had PET G like have an issue releasing off of that tape like at all. It honestly does a lot like this Ultra Base, where you just barely tap it when it gets cold and it just pops right off. Okay, so it doesn't do a big color shift, but it does. You can see the two different tones. So that's kind of cool. What's up? That's just white. You want just white?
I want the white to go on the white.
That's fine, honey. Like I said, it's your color box. You can do whatever color you want. Some 12 by 12 from Home Depot last night for the cube. I mean, yeah, like Scott was saying, Pet G will probably rip that, chunks out of the glass. You might be lucky. Hairspray would work. I've also had PLA do it on large flat panel. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that would be a good reason why I haven't done that. 12 by 12. That is... what's the conversion? I need to have like my little quick thing of how to convert different measurements. .304.8 millimeters. I take it. What size bed are you using? Like the CR10 style bed, the 310 by 310. That's okay. When you start putting other stuff with it, it'll kind of hold. But remember, you're going to be picking it up off of this and like building the 3D structure anyway. So, you can just kind of pick a blank area and just kind of hold this half with your finger and then use the pen on, if that helps.
Always, I just kind of glue it together.
Yeah.
I just fill in and then I make a little.
Okay. Just blow on it after you're done and it'll make it like hold better. Oh yeah, sorry about that. What I was asking was, you said you got a 12 by 12. So is it just inside the bed, or are you using like a 310 by 310 heat plate? Like a CR10 style? The bed measures 300 by 300. Oh, okay.
No, this piece.
The only reason I ask is if you guys can kind of spread the word, and as soon as we hit 100, I've got a giveaway going. Not that drawer. There it is. Gotta dig it out through all the cables I've set aside. So 100 is my next big milestone, and it's going to be a double. Possibly a double prize. So give you guys kind of a heads up. This is, yeah. It's for like standard 220 by 220. It's the CC Tree Ultra Base. It's not like the Anycubic Ultra Base, but it is the solid glass with the Ultra Base compound on it. And then this is an official 310 by 310 Ultra Base. Doesn't have the heated bed. It's just, as you can see, I mean, it's the actual true Ultra Base. So yeah, 310 by 310. So spread the word. We get to 100 pretty quick. I'll be doing both of them.
I'm so excited about the festival.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'd love to see everybody at Murph. And maybe we can even have the contest and the giveaway before Murph. And then, you know, kind of, I don't know, make a big announcement about it. I don't know.
Are we going to do a giveaway contest?
Yeah, we're going to be, once we hit, you know, the number 80, I can't get it in this direction. Okay, so, yeah, there we go. Bam, 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 bam. That 85 right there, it's a dynamic number. Shows the current subscribers. So once that hits 100, we'll be putting in for the contest. So, you know, spread the word.
Bam, bam.
All right. Let's see, Daniel, do you ever print in PC? Are you talking about polycarbonate, or are you talking about like the PC as in from the computer print? Hey, welcome, Paul McGrath. See, look at that. Bam, I got 2. See, it's dynamic. As soon as y'all subscribe, man, that thing pops off pretty quick. 15 new YouTubes.
15 new YouTube.
No. Oh, okay, Poly. No, I have not printed. Let's see. I've done just PLA, PETG. I'm going to be starting with TPU here in a little bit. I got a spool of it that I got for a really, really good deal before I left Texas. There was a guy that was like trying to get rid of all of his stuff, so I got it included, along with like this much of the cleaning filament. He threw it in, and this stuff is amazing. I only had to use a little bit, but when I first got this E10, the nozzle was horrible. Like, it had so much gunk in it, and I went through a good amount of that, but it cleaned it all out, and I didn't have to, like, actually tear it apart. And then I did anyway, because the bed ended up getting all jacked up. And actually, this is not the standard bed. You can barely see it in frame right there, but that little white spot, that's one of the Ultra Base, the ANET, you know, 220 Ultra Base. That's the full heated, or the heated bed, and that, because the original heated bed had scratches on it, though it still worked. But yeah, sorry, it just made some weird noise. I've been using that, but yeah, I haven't really printed anything other than that little bit of ABS. Though that's, I mean, pretty common. But yeah, TPU is about the most exotic so far. I have plans for more stuff, but I got to get the rest of these like printing well and doing all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, I've only got like white, black, and clear PETG. I don't do a lot of PETG prints, though I want to. Yeah. Careful. Ooh.
Touch the floor.
Yeah. Here, get this thing up off the, or put it up here. There you go.
No.
That way it won't like jump down there. There you go. All right. I want to do carbon fiber. I really do. Yeah, that's been my biggest thing is I need an all-metal heat break, and I just haven't upgraded any of mine. I get too much of just printing little stuff right at the moment. Plus, none of these other than the E10 right here is really got an enclosure yet. So, yeah.
I'm just wondering, I wanted like a color change one.
I don't have any more color changer ones. All I have is this. That's the glow in the dark green. And if you can find the other bag, oh, there it is. There's some of the glow in the dark blue.
Oh, it's gone.
Now it doesn't get real bright like the green one. It's really, really soft blue, but you can use that if you want.
Does it look almost like purple?
Well, here, where's my flashlight?
UV light?
Yeah, where's my UV flashlight?
You can do it with the UV LED
There it
lights.
is. Yeah.
They're both UV.
It's the one thing that I loved buying. I actually got one of these little pocket flashlights that does the UV light. See that?
Ooh.
So if you want to print with that blue, you can.
Good thing it just.
Sorry.
Part you can use.
For what?
If you.
Well, I know, but there's a couple of broken parts in here. Like, see, it's not all one big spool. It already like started breaking. So yeah, if you want to use any of this, I'd say just find only as much. Like that should be, depending on how much you want to use. You know what I mean?
Use, like,
Okay, yeah, start with that, and then if you need more, just feed more in it. All right, I'm at about 245 max. Hey, honey. No idea what I have. Mama says hi. Beyond POT, yeah. Did the bed lowering on the printer in the back right fix the leveling problems? My back right or your back right? Because the Tronxy is the big orange printer that's barely in frame right there, and that's got the bed, you can barely see them, but that's the bed lowering blocks.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Need to put that part in here.
Well, the bed lowering didn't really solve my bed leveling issues, but it did make it where I gained about 15 more millimeters. So it does 15 roughly. What really and truly helped my bed level issues was the fact that I'm using that glass. I got 330 by 330 by 6, and because of the 6 millimeter, and because of the thickness of it, or 1/4 inch, however you want to really say it, because of getting that, then yeah, it that helped it tremendously. Now I can just level it and not have to like really do anything. Yeah, so it's just a hair over 6 millimeters, because it was at a regular glass shop, and I tried to give them all millimeter measurements, and they were like, oh, we don't know what that is. So yeah, I had to go with, let's see, 0.25, so that's 6.4, 6.5 millimeters. But yeah, I mean, it's thick enough. That thing, it gets in, it takes a little bit to warm it up, but I always do a preheat anyway. But yeah, once it gets to printing, I haven't had any issues with bed leveling because of that. So you know, if you get it a little bit closer, then it'll be flatter.
Right now.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So anyway.
I'll use a little one. Wow. I just used 2. And that's all.
Okay. Well. Ooh, careful.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's starting to burn, because, and you're getting it on your print, Bubba. Look, look. You gotta watch where you're making it like feed. Okay. Yeah, I tried to. I actually have. I don't know where it's at right at the moment. I think it's in this drawer. This is the CC tree version of the Capricorn tubing, but it's supposed to have like a lot higher temp capability. But none of my throats that are, huh? Okay. But none of the throats I have here. Do you want to use the smaller piece or do you want to use the long one? Okay.
That was
Go ahead. Look. Okay.
okay.
None of the throats I have will let are straight through. They're all lined anyway, so either way, I still run into a problem. I've got some all metal throats. I just haven't taken anything apart, so. If it does, it does. Like I said, I haven't really. Yeah, the PTFE in the throat. That's why I want to get some all metal, but like I've got some spares. I just haven't gotten around to loading any of them. I've been doing too many other things. Yes.
It's getting attached.
Well, because you gotta. This whole thing gets hot, baby. So you gotta almost go like more up and down like that than so hard on an angle. Otherwise, it'll stick.
I always use this to flatten out,
Yeah.
but it's flat.
What is this? Go.
And then, wait,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I had to glue it all together.
Oh, okay.
God. I wonder what color.
Hey, 3D printing llama, how's it going, man?
3D printing llama?
Yeah, that's what do you put it?
Llama.
Llama. You're so weird. All metal I found is a hype generally, unless you're printing ABS or some other high temp aligned. All metal.
SpongeBob?
Oh yeah. No, it's not that part, llama. It's more of like wanting to print like carbon fiber or nylon or PC. As that's kind of where we were leaning the conversation for. Oh, you guys want to say goodnight? Okay. Huh?
I wanted to finish printing.
Well, how much more do you think you have? Are you just trying to attach it now? Okay.
You can snip and attach it from the other.
You can attach it, but the other two y'all need to. Here, watch where you're walking. Step over it. Night, Bubba.
I want to stay here.
No. You can see it in the
Mason,
morning.
here.
Go. Where, baby? Alright, love you. Have a good sleep. I'll check on you in a little bit.
Could also the strings.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Just watch when you're clipping because you don't want to clip your actual like print.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be careful when you do that. I know you turned your head, but you don't want to like get your head poke yourself. Mark II head is a pain to disassemble to get to the heat break. Much easier to do on a Delta. So if I do it with all metal, so it'll be on the Delta now. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking if I am able to get any more for the clone project, for the Mark III clone that was based off of the BOM from Shane at Fugatech 3D printing, that one I would definitely build just straight out with a genuine E3D with all metal heat break, everything. Like try to actually spend some decent on some of the parts. Now, other parts, yeah, just straight use the clones because it's not going to be, you know, a difference. But I have noticed that the genuine E3D, which actually, you know what? If I don't claim it for anything else, I've got a genuine E3D, so never mind. So now really all I need is just an actual all-metal throat that goes in it that lines up like it's supposed to. And I may end up just getting one of those titanium ones, unless that's really just another bunch of hype and it doesn't do anything. But then that way it'll be like the higher grade part, so I can make sure that that whole thing goes great. Yes.
I'm gonna do it on the back, which is a lot smoother.
Okay. Okay.
Still wondering how far do you want to come?
However thick you want to make it, and then like, you know what I mean. Just kind of remember you're gonna have to go a little bit slow when you go back and forth. Go a little bit fast to me, like at medium speed, like that, and then also like go a little bit and then blow on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then as you start getting it, and you can, if you need to, like put something to help hold the space. You know, don't put it right up on it, but like something like that to hold the right space that you want, and then that way you can build it.
Okay, where's the Forgot to load it.
Forgot to load it?
Yes.
No.
What?
What? Yeah, so actually in that Sterilite container down there is all my TPU and PETG. And then I found a really good deal. It's hard to see in frame, but there's a, at the dollar store every now and then, they had a huge drying container. It's like, it's that silver box right in there. It's probably about like that big for $1. It's crazy. Llama, yes, it will be with the NC board. 5 more minutes. So do you want to hold off on doing putting those two parts together since you only have 5 minutes?
What do you mean?
Do you want to wait until tomorrow to put these two pieces together since you only have 5 more minutes? Okay. Why do you want to use all the colors that are sealed still?
This is my last color. I'm just gonna use that.
You don't want to reuse gold, like to put the gold to gold to make him his body? No? Okay. I mean, I said this was yours. I just... Look. There you go. But yeah, when he did his, when Shane did his clone, he actually did the true NC, or I don't know if it was a true NC board or a cloned NC board, but he did use the factory firmware with no issues. So Older Machine has them on sale for like $30 off if you get a refurbished one company. I wouldn't be concerned about refurbished for sure. That's awesome. If you got a link for it, send it on over. I mean, you can send it to my email. You can PM me, whatever. Or if you don't mind putting it on the group chat, me, whatever. Because I don't mind, like, as you see, I already got some money going. So, and I've got other money that like can do that, but I'm trying to. Just kind of holding off on spending any of the other money till after Murph. But I'm already trying to save up more money for doing this project kind of regardless. So if anybody wants to help out and make it go that much faster, I'm all for it. That's pretty awesome. But don't feel like you need to. Did they grab it? Yeah, there it goes. Okay.
Do you think that's it?
Yep, that should be good.
It's hot.
Yeah. Now you gotta clean the tip later.
Like with the cleaning filament?
Yeah, kind of get all the gunk out of it.
Gunk.
Gunk. You're so weird sometimes.
I'm not weird. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you are.
I just feel. Feel.
Ultra machine. Okay.
Control machine.
A regular and a retro.
Regular retro. It needs a leg that big.
Does the retro come with like a spare afro in it, or like a disco ball, or with the big old shoes? Any of that stuff part of the retro, or is that going retro to a specific time frame that
Yeah.
we need to just skip over? Meh. Just gonna trim those extra long pins, but I guess I'll just leave them. Kind of looking forward to using my new JST crimpers, because there's some that I really need to fix. They're quite horrible.
Yeah. Need to get all the.
Oh, did you mess up?
Couldn't get it. What is your face?
Well, that's why I snipped that part off. See, that's why they're called flush cutters. You get in there really nice and flush, or
Flush.
flat.
I'm still wondering.
Regular uses 5-volt fans. Retro uses direct feed through the power supply. So if a 12 volt, you need 12-volt fan. Oh, okay. Is there a big like benefit to only using 5-volt fans versus 12? I mean, because personally, I think I would just stick with like, I don't know, whatever is closer to factory. So if they're using, yeah, no, not even printing tonight. If they're just using a 24-volt power supply, then I mean it would make sense to do just all 24-volt. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand the basic concept of, you know, if you use the right voltage for the right fan, you know, it's the CMFs that's really gonna determine the airflow. So it doesn't really per se matter the voltage if it's like within spec. If you go too high, then obviously it's gonna burn out the fan. If you go too low, then you could kind of damage it the same. But all I know is the 2 spare 24-volt fans that I got from CC Tree, and I hate to broadcast them out, but yeah, I've gotten quite a few like extras from CC Tree over the time. Some of the factory warranty replaced items from like it just going back to a warehouse. They've sent them my way a couple of times, not too many things, but ended up getting 2 flat 24-volt fans, and so I put one on the outside case of the Raspberry Pi on the Tronxy, and that thing was like it deafening in this room. I mean, those fans were so loud on 24-volt. It is just unreal.
Unreal.
Remember, you got to blow on it if you're going to bridge. That way, and yeah, don't put it on super fast. No, you need to move super fast, but you don't need the filament going on super fast.
Do I have to set it different?
So you want like S1, and then that way you can bridge it and blow to cool so that it can
Stay?
Yeah, it'll stay, and it won't curl in so much. Well, what do you think would be better? Doing just a 12 volt, or sticking with 5 volt fans, or hell, 24 volt? I mean, I would rather it do its job well than to be like focused on what voltage fans. You know what I mean? Ah, okay. So I take it you went with the 5 to get it quieter. All right. Once you finish that up, it'll be your 5 minutes should be up.
This will take a while.
Okay, well, it better not, because you were only supposed to have 5 minutes to bed. That's why I asked you if you wanted to just wait. You're so weird. Well, I know it's early, but anybody got like ideas maybe for next week? I figure we might do a little more of playing around with the dual color, but maybe doing some of the upgrades to this larger delta here behind me, and see if like any of that works. Oh, did you guys see my oh, hold on. Got the stock Prisa 5 volt fans, fed it with a 24 volt fire. That's for bed heat, and he has it in out to the bed too, so you can go 12 to the printer and get a supply just for the bed. Oh, okay. I mean, most of mine, like the Tronxy has the dual power underneath that shortened black table, so all the electronics really are underneath except now the main board, because it's part of the screen case. So yeah, I mean, same with what I did with the E10 behind me. I put everything underneath, so it's literally just the printer. I took it out of the whole metal casing because originally I had my ANET in there, and then I didn't want to have to reinvent the wheel just for the E10. A Hairy Lion multicolor. Why not print something tonight? Yeah, I could.
I really like the ANET A8. You know what I'm working on.
What in the world happened to chat? So I think my chat program, the separate chat bot, I think it just died. All because I moved the thing over to see some of the event logs that were popping up. Oh, there it goes. That's weird. So the scroll bar got stuck. Put some rolling stick things. Hairy Lion with multicolor hair, 2-color. Is there a model for a Hairy Lion with multicolor? I mean, I can only do 2-color. I mean, we may get something started here. Yeah, as soon as I get the kiddo off to bed.
Hopefully.
Well, I don't do modeling yet because I'm not good at it. I mean, I barely can do just a flat panel with the right dimensions. So, print a pizza. No, I wish I could print a pizza.
Could print a pizza? Could you? It's easy to make a pizza.
No, it's not.
You just get a round ring
A round ring.
in a circle, and
A round ring in a circle?
yep, and put the ring on the outside as a circle, and then put circles on top.
Hey, thanks for the subscription there, Llama.
And then you'll be done.
88. 12 more to go. We could schedule for that giveaway.
So if we're in 88 subscribers watching our channel.
No, there's 88 people subscribed right now and 14 people watching, I think. Sometimes that number's a little off. D&D dice. Yeah, kids can model better than me. I know.
I have to draw the eyes.
Yeah, no, not tonight. Not tonight. That's it. We need to. We can attach all of this tomorrow, baby. I know, but you know, you can't stay up all night. No. Finish tomorrow. Honey. If you're gonna act like this, we're not gonna let you be on the stream for very much longer. I know. But you know what? It's still time for bed. Hey. Just relax. Alright, let me get this kiddo to bed real quick and then I'll be right back. Sorry. Kind of helps if I hit unmute. All right, let's get this. Okay. So I would have loved to have used the what you call it, overseer, to do the show all the printer beds again to kind of keep track of everything. But unfortunately, they did a change update and I started working on it, and so I deleted the old instance so that I could build the new one, and there's some problems with the new one, so check it out. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I forgot about the mic. I wish I could actually make it where it remembers when I do the different scenes that it adjusts the sound, but it never remembers very well. All right, let's go to that link you sent real quick. Check that out. Nope, wrong one. That's not what I wanted either. There we go. All right. Thingiverse. Come on. One stick thingy too. Oh, that's pretty cool. Huh. I will definitely have to look into doing that. That is pretty neat. Put that in the collection. Things to make. It's like an ever-growing collection for me. Ooh, slicer. And I'm sure it's not as easy as Simplify 3D to like export all your profiles, is it? Told you I don't want you opening those. All right. Let's see, dual color. That is pretty cool. So, let's see. If I had done it beforehand, that would have been fine. Yeah, true. Yeah. So, this one's a dual color. That looks pretty neat. I have to add that to my collection of. Oh, let's add a new collection. Dual color prints. Yeah. Kind of a Stargate nerd, so. I don't need a classic poker chip. I don't need Phil. Sleeping Panda. Huh. Discovering the lurch firmware, so they don't get along anyway. Huh. That's good to know that there's some issues with some of the other slicers. Oh, there's somebody else that has that tumble stick. Yeah, I could do that into a maker's coin. Just put my logo on the back side of it. Call it a day. They stole mine. Oh, you're the one that actually made the other one? Oh, shit. My bad. I didn't know that was you. Yeah, so that was, looks like Frugal Shave. Yeah, Frugal Shave. Well, if they stole one, let's see if they stole any others. So there's the tumble stick. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Look at all the rest of the designs that he has, and then all of a sudden have that stick like that. Hmm. That's weird. Come on, back up. Ah, no. Go to page 3. There we go. I mean, some of these things are kind of cool, but that's a lot. That's an idea. I wanted to get into TPU printing anyway, so I mean that'll probably work. There we go. We need to get a Facebook-like money bank. That's what we need, definitely. That's pretty neat. Just thinking for the Tronxy, but I've got mine on one on either side, but I don't need you to play. Sweet. Thanks, Tanner. Nice. That's awesome. Welcome. See, this isn't really dual color. I mean, that's just, I mean, it's hard to see on this, but that the green is just enough higher that you can like avoid printing on that whole bottom piece. Which I'm fine with, like dual color and that, but I mean, I actually want like, you know, something to really test it, but I want it to be like usable too. I don't want to just print something just for the sake of printing it. I mean, that to me is kind of a waste. Who knows? Maybe I just have to actually build my own stuff. Yeah, I've been trying to jump around on all the big guys that I watch. Chris, Walter, man, I can't remember Fun King's real name. Glenn, there we go. Been on his too. I mean, they're all pretty awesome guys. I've caught a couple of the morning streams from Tanner, but sometimes I'm still sleeping or I'm already at work and I can't catch them, unfortunately. I've seen 3D printing llama on Walter's stream quite a lot. So yeah. You know, I probably ought to just have the kids do one up for me tomorrow. Oh no. Those are always fun. A little pot. Yep. Yeah, I try to throw stuff out there too, but I don't want to be like kind of overbearing on people. I don't want to make it sound like the only reason I'm jumping in it is just to get, you know, subscribers or anything like that, because, you know, I just kind of hang out. Oh, all right, King. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope everything starts working out for you. Gotta go sing for your supper. Man, I'm glad I don't have to do that. I'm not a good singer at all. Huh? Not that I can think of. Love you. Better reheat the pen up and get this thing ejected. Now that seems like a waste. A dual color model where the only thing you're changing is the red eyes, like, seems like a bit much. Roy Holly, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'd probably go hungry. But then again, I cook a lot of my own meals. Not saying that my wife doesn't do stuff. I like cooking, so sometimes I'll just kind of do my own thing. If my red wasn't so crappy in this, I mean, I'd even do like that little coaster. Something quick, easy. Now that's not bad. I could think of something like that because I've actually got some of the IGUS printable like filament that they let me go. I just don't have the throat for it right at the moment, but that's a good one to keep on file because that's what I wanted to do, was basically make it out of the IGUS filament. Just didn't know about the outside of it. So having a dual material like that, if I can do it, that'd be pretty cool. Hmm. Mr. Hanky. Send that to one of the guys that was looking for one of them models. He's got the palette too. Rack mount for a Raspy. See, I thought this was going to be a mixing nozzle as well, but it ended up not being one. Which that would have been, I think, just a little bit cooler. Man, I may just have to do just like a generic dual color model just to get it done. So I'm not really seeing any dual color. Oh, you got a mixing nozzle? That's pretty awesome. We could have traded those our E2 kits. We may just do something. See how that works. Should be fairly easy to throw in there. And alright. Extrusion wizard. I don't know which part is which. How about this? Alright, so that's the ring, and this is the background. So they did. Okay. So the ring is part 1. Okay. Part 1, and that is. Nope. I need that. There we go. Group and line. Oh, why? Man, that's close. What the hell's with all these dots? That's no good. I mean, I don't have coasting or wipe on there. Support out of 1. Okay. Maybe just north. Man, that was so close. External single extrusion. Where is that? Ooh, there we go. The dots are retractions. Well, it said that was the single extrusion, so I wonder if I got my piece off on that one. Where is it? There we go. Do 1 millimeter. Save that. Okay. There we go. All right, well that's a lot better. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out. Internal single extrusion. Why does it have so many dots though? That's just... Man, is there any way to clean that up a bit more? Like make it not so... So crap-a-dappy. Let's see. If I do it close to, what is that? Half would be 330, so 115. And 115. We'll do that. So like make the points closest to the middle. Wonder if that'll help any. Or I guess no. It'd be better to do in front on the back side or bottom part of the ring. So let's try do it like that. And then let's make it do like south. See if that. That way the front of it looks a lot better. What in the world is this? Some floating dent supports. Y'all see that? That is just like crazy. Ooh, we're only 10 away. What's up, Sean? We can just do this. See how well it comes out. Right. See if it does this, or did it break it completely? Yeah, it broke it. Alright, let me get this printer heating up. One design thing we're working on. Pedal jumper release today. Yeah, I saw that the notice for it, and I wanted to check it out. And funny enough, we were talking about there's a dual color Event Horizon Stargate, you know, like coaster looking type thing that they did. And we were making a joke that it could turn it into a new maker coin by I could just put my logo on the back. But I wanted to see yours to see like what you did, because I was just thinking of doing some like Stargate stuff. So that would be pretty cool. Magic ring. Let's pre this bad boy. Alright, so you guys know, this is the other thing that I've been running into a problem with. So, on my Octoprint, I mean, the bed temperature, I mean, not the bed temperature, the extruder temperature, as you notice, it spikes the first knowledge of it, but then it drops. But it's registering, so it does know to climb, and so does the bed. The bed reports correctly. But for whatever reason, whatever coding this thing uses to identify the tool head, it does not do it for the single heater, even though I've got it set that way. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah. Oh, you bum. Why are you always doing the stuff right before me? You beat me to the idea. That's not fair. Now I can't do the Stargate logo coins. You've already done them. But I'm still going to print a Stargate, so, you know, I guess it's all good. Yeah, I know. I'm not as talented to come up with the design to begin with, so I guess I've gotta suffer. Nice. Okay, so those are going to be more consistent streams you were talking about before. That's awesome. yeah, I'll have to hop on and see it tomorrow night, definitely. Yeah, I caught your last one. That was pretty awesome to see the boys right there, like actually doing the designs and stuff. That's pretty cool. Welcome, Michael. Yeah, I gotta figure this welcome message thing out. It's a little weird doing the double. Alright. Come on. Oh, you're taking too long. Fine. We'll do it that way. Let me double check. Come on, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you spitting out? There you go. Yeah, well, it's a printed. I mean, go away. Yeah, Michael, I got the automated watch so that when new people come in, I actually get notified this time because I was missing people and everything else. So, but yeah, I don't like the double mention, so I gotta fix that. But yeah, it's trying to do the duel there. Still don't quite understand like what I'm doing with the pillar information, so I may have to look into how to do that a little better. I have to adjust the text size of this thing too, or the chat. It's a bit big. Oh, but don't worry too much about the S3D. I mean, I saved up for it because I knew I was going to be doing more lives. I had kind of the not quite so legal technical version that one of the guys kind of showed me. That link is already dead, so I wouldn't be able to pass it on anyway. But that's how I kind of wanted to try S3D. I personally loved it. It made so much more sense to me. I could never get Cura to like do what I wanted it to do, and it was so hard. So then I kind of saved up the money rather than for a printer, and it kind of, I mean, makes it easier when you actually own the license to be able to do stuff. And I caught it right before this first big upgrade, but then, you know, there hasn't been anything since, so I don't know. I mean, I came in when it was already 4.0 officially, and then they did the 4.1 and then the 4.11 little minor update, but after that, that's been it. But I like the way Simplified 3D works. I like the way, you know, it does stuff. Now that this is the first like dual color, now I just got to get that kind of going. Very true. That's kind of why I started with that one. It just so happened that there was a group of us that we all tried it, and like it was weird because my computer had no issue. One of the guys that found the link, his didn't have an issue, but two of the other guys that we kind of in our little group had it. They couldn't get it to work on their machine. Same link. So I don't know what was going on with that, but they don't like it, and I did, and they gave me a bunch of, you know, flack about it. Well, why are you buying it when you already had, you know, a working version? And I was like, it's really the right thing to do. I just think that they should be putting a better trial version than you get 30 days, but then even when I contacted them about a real issue, you know, especially like for this, and it took them 2 weeks to even send a response email of, hey, we're looking into it. I mean, if you only got a 30-day window to, you know, try and then cancel if you don't like it, and then you're waiting for them to approve your refund within the 30-day period and then get that 150 re-released, I mean, that's a lot of gamble. They should be doing, like, say, a limited version that you strip out some of the tabs, you know, like the higher end stuff that nobody uses really, you know, to do just basic temps, basic supports. Say you only, you know, limit it, like they say they don't, but they do. Limit it to only, like, say 2 printer profiles that you can put into it, and give like a 30-day trial window that you're not having to shell out a lot of money for, or just purely a trial mode that then it stops functioning at the 30-day mark, or hell, 60-day mark, and then it just becomes dead software, and does like some of the other people that do trial runs, that it writes that unique registry key that, you know, you can't take it back off your machine, so it will always know, unless you wipe the machine, you know, then it'll always know if you try to re-download it and reset your 30, 60-day trial, whatever, that it won't work. Then they've got their protection as well. And then you get to try, or better yet, 30-day full-out trial, all features enabled, limit it to no more than, say, 2 printer profiles that you can put on within that 30-day period, and then make it seize up the program completely, where on launch, the only thing it says is, you're past your 30-day trial, put your unlock code. And then we'll unlock, you know, all the profile parts, reset that, and now it's registered to you, and then you just continue on with what you were doing. You do that, and then, well, they already kind of, I mean, technically, they already hacked out the licensing piece out of it. I mean, you know, talk to Microsoft. Do the trial period that they do that makes it where it'll just automatically stop, you know, like repetitively crashing after 30 minutes or an hour worth of usage. You know, I mean, I'm sure people will still find a way to slice their jobs as quick as possible, you know. But see, that's the thing. My hacked version didn't lock up at all. Like, I didn't have a single issue with it. It's just, you know, it from a legalistic standpoint, if I'm going to put my broadcast out for mass to use or view, and it shows that it's the hacked version, I mean, that doesn't look good for me for later on, you know. So, but I did it on this machine, which is a Windows 7 machine, but I also put it on my Windows 10 machine, and I didn't have it lock up once. Like, all these issues that a lot of people are having here lately, I personally haven't had a single one. But then again, I may not be pushing the software to its limits, and because I'm new enough trying to figure out how things work, you know. The only thing I do notice is mine locks up because this is an older laptop, really, when I have the display driver do something crazy, when it comes back and it says it recovered the display driver, S3D cannot recover from that, and it stays in my taskbar. I have to force quit, but then I can pull it right back up, and then I'm back to normal, and like it was nothing. That's the only lockup that I've ever gotten. Yeah, that's even a good idea there, Scott. I mean, there's so many things that they could do, you know, or strip it down to a basic model and do like paid plugins where you can get the baseline of the program working, does basic functionality, you know, like Cura, like Idea Maker, like Slicer Proof Edition, you know, all these that are open source anyway. Do stuff like that, and then focus on like paid add-ons to make it do unique stuff that only they're coming up with, and have a buy-in to that. Because I mean, really, you know, you're looking at a program that does the same thing as all the other slicers, you know. Yeah. You can do that. I mean, it'd be pretty funny if most people aren't printing higher than, say, 50 millimeters anyway. Make a paid plugin that, unless you paid for it, you couldn't print anything higher than 50 millimeters anyway. So you'd be stuck with just little miniatures. I mean, that'd be pretty funny. All right, Sean. Have a nice night. Well, if you did 500 lines of code, I mean, you'd have to tell it 500 plus the, what, 50 embedded S3D codes that don't do anything to the printer, but it reports it all in the top level of the G code anyway. So, all right, Michael, thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, you might want to consider subscribing. I mean, once we hit the number down here in the corner, when it gets closer to 100, we'll be doing some ultra basic giveaways. I got 2 sizes, one official and one clone, but I mean, still, they work. I don't know. I just think there's yeah. Well, I mean, when I first started, I used Cura, and it worked great. Then it got to the point where, like, I was printing one of my first, like, paid prints that I was doing for somebody else. We were doing the Star Trek Enterprise, the classic edition, and it came out like crap. I mean, I don't know what the layers were doing. I mean, it just looked like absolute crap. I could not figure it out. And then that's right about the same time frame. Then we got the hacked version of S3D, and I mean, it came out beautiful on the very first shot. And I didn't even have anything tuned in. So it was like, you know, something about it. And then from that point on, just the workflow made so much more sense to me that I was like, I'm fine with actually paying for a real copy to get all the updates, get the support, get it dialed in, you know, have that extra help. And I was willing to do it. Now it's kind of like, you know, I paid the money. Granted, it's a lifetime license, but I mean, you're not giving me anything. You're giving me a free program and paying for a $150 name tag with no support. Because even when I ask for support, the only thing they do is email one thing back, maybe, or they direct you to the forums. And the forums aren't even like filled with staff responses. It's community responses. Well, that's not support. If I wanted community-based support, I'd just go to Cura or I go to Microsoft, where that's all you get, because you never get anything from Microsoft for free, even when you paid for the support for free. So, I mean, they could have done better by saying $50, $75. You know, half the price that they're doing now for the level of involvement that they're actually doing. If they did something more, like actually patching more often, introducing new features more often, you know, doing spot check emails to say, hey, how you doing? Do you have any issues? Anything you want to chit chat about? You know what I mean? Like, for a $150 price tag, and then they say they offer great support, and what the great support is the rest of the community helping you out, and nothing from the staff. I mean, that's not great support. That's nothing. It's hard to justify the price, even though I paid for it. But now I'm in a position too. I've been using it for, God, almost a year now. I can't give it back. I would like to, but then again, the workflow of it makes a lot of sense, and I'm just able to throw at it. So I don't know. It hits in that real gray area. I mean, like, take this printer. It was the X5S. I downloaded probably 15 different profiles that were all supposed to work, and not a one would activate the second extruder, like, at all. Even though they said it was going to, and blah, blah, blah. I built this one from a completely different printer that somebody else had linked, and it worked the first shot. I haven't been able to get it to work under any other slicer. So it's not that it's too hard once you figure out the little quirks of it. But I mean, when I was configuring more for the Delta, and especially this new Delta, I mean, there's no profile for it. I threw it together in a heartbeat. Now that I've, you know, worked on some of the other issues, now it makes sense. But I mean, everybody has their thing about the different programs. The one thing I really loved about Cura that I wanted to try out was the fuzzy skin. I think that would be awesome to do stuff with. But then I don't have any models that would look good with a fuzzy skin. And I was having problems getting it to slice the jobs correctly. So, I mean, sometimes you just have an issue. You'd think that they would make it plug and play. You're right. And you'd think that they would have more kit printers, since there are a lot of kit printers. And it's like, unless these kit companies pay in to have their profile listed, then you're not going to get anything. And that's honestly crap. That's not fair to us end users. You know, I know Cura is not really going to support kit printers or anything that's not more related to their partnerships. I get it. I think it sucks that they haven't got it figured out that they print with 3mm filament on their Ultimakers, but nobody else really prints with 3mm filament, so stop making it constantly reset to 3mm all the damn time. And I think as a community, that would help us out. But even that, it being a free printer, really, I mean, a free slicer, if you think about it, if that's really the only major issue you got to worry about with them, it's kind of, you know, one you can just kind of blow off and deal with. Very true. But their techs, they've only got like a handful of people to do any kind of development on this stuff. So, what's up, Carl? Hey, sorry about the double welcome, but yeah, I had to rebuild all of my Streamlabs, so now it's welcoming everybody as they now repopulate. I mean, each slicer, like I said, each slicer is going to have its ups and downs. There's a couple of things that I was going to print for the Delta, the stabilization little arms. S3D can't do it. It separates it and leaves huge gaps to where even if I tried to print, it's not going to be solid. It's just going to crack. And I actually printed one, and it did exactly that. It cracked. I turned around and I got a profile mostly working in Cura, and even just slicing it, it looked perfect. Printed it, perfect. Then I didn't end up actually needing those arms anyway, so then it was kind of a wasted venture, but it really bothered me that something simple in the design, Simplified 3D couldn't do it, but yet Cura could. And I know you could just take it to, you know, with Windows 10, use the 3D builder, do a repair, do NetFab, do a repair. You know, there's a couple of places you could all do a repair. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to. The slicer, I could see if I went through 2 or more slicers and they all had the same problem, okay, there's a model defect. But if one slicer, complete garbage, another slicer, and it works, paid, works like crap, free, works great, another free, works great, another free, works great, well then what is the problem with the paid one that can't do what the free ones is doing? That tells me it's not a model, it's a coding issue. So E2 to E. No, sir. This is on their official website, and they even have it a 2E. That's why I kept getting so confused, because you call it an E2 and they call it a 2E on this. This is their page. So there, ha. Not to mention the new support method. Oh yeah, 91. Woohoo! 9 away, and then we can schedule a a giveaway. But yeah, I mean, I would love to have new supports other than just, I mean, Honeycomb, don't get me wrong. Honeycomb is pretty awesome. Shakes the hell out of the printer though. On my ANET, I thought that thing was going to rattle every screw apart. I was like, this is the end of the printer. I can't even use this thing. The only place where they have it wrong. Welcome. NLTMW. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it'd definitely shake it up for you, no problem. But, the one thing that I tried on Cura that I absolutely loved was the tree supports. That was pretty awesome. I mean, I ended up using a third of the normal support material, and I mean, I barely popped, and the whole thing just like separated from the model easy. Well, that's pretty cool. Why not do something in that? I haven't really printed too much more there, Carl, on 280. Mainly because, where is it? I got my baseboard that I'm going to be cutting this weekend. I've got the riser feet printed out. I'm actually going to install these at the top this time. I printed out the rest of that support bar, or that universal support thing came out, but I mean, this thing is freaking huge. Here, I mean, look at that. This thing is like almost bigger than the caliper head. Plus, I mean, this square part is wider than a 2020, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm wanting to kind of hook a few things up to 280, get it a little bit more stable, and then try it again. But all right already. Jeez. Here. There. See, it only takes me a second to fix it. Just bolt it to the wall. No. Can't do that in an apartment. I'll get in trouble. I've already bolted enough things to the wall and messed it up. They did kind of a shoddy work on building this thing. I mean, there's so much, like the tape that they used, they didn't line up a lot of the seams. I mean, like basic stuff that you should be able to handle. And I'm not saying it's got to be like perfectly straight level line, although yes, that would be optimal. It doesn't have to be for an apartment. But I mean, they had some like, say for instance, the electrical plug that's down here on the wall. There's a huge like screwdriver hole to the right side of the faceplate that shouldn't even be there. And I can understand having, you know, a little bit of alignment issue, but I've taken the faceplate off. They didn't even cut a square hole. It's like whoever was cutting it, and please don't take this the wrong way, but it's like they were cutting and then had a seizure and then came back and cut normal. Like, I don't know where this just offshoot line went from, but rather than fix it, they just tried to cover it up and put a little bit of paint and be like, hey, nobody will see that. Or I've got on the other side of my room, it looks like water damage, and I mean from ceiling to halfway down the wall, it's all bubbled up behind the paint. Like they had water damage like hit at some point. And I told them when we looked at this place, what, almost 2 months before we moved in, I'm like, hey, could you all repair that before I actually move in, since we're signing a guarantee to this unit? Oh yeah, no problem. We get here, still there. They didn't even touch it. And I'm like, what's going on? And I wrote it down on my inspection checklist, and they were like, oh, well, we'll fix it when you move out. You shouldn't have to fix it when I move out. It should be fixed before I moved in. So, yeah, I definitely can't bolt anything to the wall. I don't know. This wall may fall down for all I know. Yeah, but for real, Scott, the only reason that I did the 2E is actually because the sticker on the board says 2E. Then the website said 2E. So I thought, okay, well, maybe they changed their mind. And I didn't want to confuse people, like if they went out to the Trunksy website besides yours, you know, just to figure out about the kit itself, and then it didn't match, and then they think that I was like making up something. But yeah, I mean, whichever way they want to go, but they should make it the same. I mean, it's kind of bad that it's not already the same across the board, but hey, translations will get you. I was thinking of doing an X on all 3 sides, yeah. I thought about that too. Maybe making like, you know, just like a single level one of these, and not so wide, but where I could use that outer point so it gets a little bit, you know, off the frame per se. Just so it misses the carriage wheels and all of that, you know, because this does go plenty out of, like when you hook it up. I know it's like you can't really see it from here, but the angle that the angles that it sits on, like the frame would sit like about here. So there's probably a good quarter of an inch gap between the outermost edge of the frame and just the beginning part of this. So if you put any material that much further out from that, then yeah. Yeah. Rotozip? Oh. Wait, Rotozip? I guess I'm missing a part of the conversation. Hold on. Built it the wrong. Can't around. Rotozip. What's Rotozip? Sorry. Some people do Facebook group. Yeah. Well, spread the word. Only 9 more to go. We can schedule that double, what you call it, ultra base. Man, I can't even think tonight. 2 different sizes. All right. Where is my messenger? Oh, yeah. That's right. Where you could do that square hole, just like chunk it in. Yeah, that would have been nice. I'm just glad that they had some common sense, though they didn't think about it at first. Ooh, dropping everything over here. It would have been nice if they would have done a or that they did think about putting at least a hardline connection from every one of the rooms. There's at least one faceplate that has a Cat5 cable buried in it, but they didn't put any terminators on it, and they didn't even like label any of them. So like when the maintenance came to help me set up my internet, everybody was looking for me for the answer. I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is ridiculous. You guys said it was set up. I see the cable, but how do I get it to anywhere else in the damn house? Like, that's ridiculous. And they sent the contractor that who built the building, was like, oh yeah, we dropped all the lines here. He had to fish them all out, and he's like, here's all 9 cables. Well, why didn't you put something? I mean, this. Oh, that's the backside. You're looking at the prime tower, actually, at the front. I forgot that I didn't reorient the build plate. I was just trying to get the prime tower on, like, by the bottom part of the ring, not the top part, and I forgot to twist it around. Ooh, definitely record that or share some links, man. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind watching that. Seeing what you did, get some good ideas. Yeah, there goes that red popping again. Nope, that's going to be a failed print. Yeah, the red's not even like pushing through at all anymore. I got to figure that one out. It's about 40, almost 50% through it, and it's, yeah, that red is crap. I think it's just the red giving me the problem. Because the blue, every time I'm looking at it, the blue is coming out just fine. Let's do 25 millimeters. Yeah, trying to do dual color on the trunk. See, I got some crappy red filament, so I think that's where most of my problem is right now. This red is kind of always giving me some issues. I mean, it's like this red was like just designed to just be a pain in the ass. Every time I've tried to print with it, there's always some kind of issue. still too hot. Oh, I might have to pick a different color, but in 12 minutes, I don't know. Got to kind of clean up the workspace and all that jazz, but do you guys see low-tech way to drive filament? Place filament rolls on your printer, set a low temp base box on top. I haven't done it that way. What I have done is I got a what you call it, an old food dehydrator that was a piece of junk for like $5 that somebody was like kind of throwing out. It still heats like crazy. Now that I got a temperature and humidity sensor kit provided by Alien 3D monthly filament box for the month of January, it was pretty awesome. So now that I have that, I'm going to try to kind of hook it. Don't know how yet, but hook it so that I can get the temperature and humidity within it, and then dry out some filaments without it getting too hot. Though I may end up just splurging and actually getting one of the print dry systems that's made for filament that actually has the dial temperature, since this just has an on and off, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, well, I kind of changed from a dry box that kept falling apart on me to my drawer. Now my Pet G stays, you know, nice and secure, but yeah, not my other stuff. Yeah, I've seen some with the little temperature, those with the little temperature plug. Somebody was saying that there might even be a kit that I could get like the few little extra parts that I need, and then since I have kind of a spare Raspberry Pi, that I could hook it like up to it so it could help control the heat and actually set like print dry times and different stuff like that. So that might be something to look into too. Oop, 92. Mr. Buttram, thank you, sir. I don't know if you're here, but if you are, thank you. If you just jumped in and straight hit it, well, if you ever watch this, thank you, thank you. What brand is the flaky red? NLTMW. Hopefully I can actually remember a name if you ever give one of what to actually call you, because that's a little crazy and I'm going to forget. But anyway, that is Rhino Reels Red PLA. It is a full red that feels a little... What would be the best way to describe it? The red to me gives a feeling more like it's a chalky crayon. It's still hard like PLA. There's no like glitter flakes or anything like that. It's just when you print with it, if you get it to work right, which I've been printing a couple of things and they all come out fine if you do it on the right printer. Well, these are small parts. I mean, I can get the glass bottom. You know, it does fairly decent. Come on, focus. I can't get it. I mean, there are layer lines in this, but I was also printing it kind of in draft quality, kind of fast. Because this is the red that I was going to use for my son's printer. It works decent, but I don't really like the output quality is not. Never let the matches or machines win. God, I can't even talk. Cool, Mike. Yes. But yeah, I don't like that red. The color is awesome, but it doesn't. The quality of it is just kind of eh. They're. I ended up getting some of their like pumpkin orange. Now, granted, it didn't arrive until, you know, November, and I wasn't part of the Alien 3D monthly printer subscription box thing to get that Halloween project, and I wanted to use the purple in that, but we were already in November. But same kind of thing. It's whatever additive they put into it. This orange sucks. So I've been using this to print the kids' toys with, because they go through like 15 of them and then they keep breaking them. So I printed it with this, and you know, no biggie, no biggie. It still prints okay, but I wouldn't want it on like my parts. But they're purple, and this doesn't really do justice, but I mean, because it's just a, you know, a loose roll spool like that, and I got the modular like master spool kind of thing. I mean, they're purple. It prints beautifully. I mean, it did phenomenal job. So it's kind of like, you know, you find some of those colors that work great and some that don't. I mean, yeah, this is more my slicer doing it, but I mean, and this was on draft quality. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to see the layer lines, but again, this was just like for a frame support. But I mean, still, I mean, it's rock solid part. Even on draft, I mean, it comes out great. The purple was like awesome. But there's other colors that like I like more, other brands that I'm starting to like a little more. So, I mean, it's a crapshoot, really. Facebook, get free filament. Ooh, sweet. Well, that's awesome, Mike. Yeah, Ricky's, I mean, I haven't really seen him too much, but yeah, he did put that out there. He does some great modeling. It's hard to catch his streams a lot of the time, because it's like right when I go to work or I got to do something with the kids and I keep missing them. But I've tried to catch some of the replays and everything, and I mean, just trying to do really, you know, laid back, kind of hang out, print a few things if we ever get stuff going right. Right now, everything's kind of in a disarray because I'm trying to reorganize this whole back wall and put some stuff together, and so yeah, there is a lot of different ones. This one is a where is the release bar? There it is. So like this one that I got, and I can put the link below if you guys want, but this version of like the master spool uses half the amount of filament that the actual master spool uses, but it's got a nice little unlocking ring. Of course, you actually have to unlock it, and then you can take that whole top part off, get to your spool, but even the inner piece is a separate locking mechanism that you can get different sizes for the different spools that you get, and you just drop them in and then, you know, lock it back, and I mean, you're good to go. And it's got 3 of the cable, oh gosh, I'm not even in frame. It's got 3 of the loose spool like lines, if I can get it to focus. So this one curls from in here and it goes down in, and then I think it curves to this side, and then you got one on the opposite to go this way, and there's 3 of them. And so you just print 2 of the bases, 1 for each side, and then whatever size middle ring that you want, and then it just snaps together. I like it. This spool works pretty awesome, and then it even gives you a little removable tag piece that you can snap onto the film or to the spool, and then put your label on it if you want. I thought it was pretty nice. I printed a few of these. And like I said, the main thing is it's half the amount of a regular master spool, and it works out pretty good. But these filament, I think some colors work better than others. Because like that purple, I would definitely order again. The purple is fantastic. The red and the orange, not so much. The gray they had that I was using was phenomenal until you put it in the non-temperature regulated food dehydrator for a little too long and start to get your glass transition temperature and a few points that kind of fuse together, so you have to re-spool it yourself. Yeah, it didn't quite work out that well. But other than that, which was purely on me, yeah, other than that, the gray was pretty awesome itself too. You buy, get popular. It's kind of sketchy. You buy, get positive review. People money. Yeah. I ended up doing one of those where they did a deal. I can't remember who it was, where you buy 1 spool and you can get 2 free on a review. And I bought that color once before on a whole different thing. So I was like, okay, if you're going to give me 2 free. So I've got it, did the review, got the 2 free, and then went back and edited my review after. And I was like, yeah, it's not as great as they say, but it was a really good deal. So if you get it on a good deal and you're kind of with the borderline filament, go ahead. So we don't understand the advantage of mass spools, and we need to print dozens of spools. Mike, that is one thing. Oh, okay. All right, then. Have a safe trip picking up your other half. Yeah. Sometimes you can find good. And if you look at the actual Amazon buyer and seller like review policy, because my official Techie Dad account got hit with it. If you do paid reviews, you're violating their terms, and you can lock out both the company and your individual to not be able to write more reviews. So they were more than happy to keep taking my money for the Prime membership and allow me to order stuff, whatever. But my official account is locked out to where I cannot write another review. So I don't do any more of these Amazon paid reviews. And they hit me with, there was like some history of showing that I was being biased towards a company, and that goes against their policy. And I asked them for proof, and then they unblocked me without anything. And then without even making another purchase or review, like a month later, they blocked me again, stating the exact same thing. And I asked them for proof, and it took about a month, and then they just unblocked me with nothing and said, oh, well, we re-reviewed everything and we're sorry that you got blocked. It was, you know, it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. And then they hit me this third time and locked me out. And then I got a nasty email from the group that said, we will not reopen your case. You are locked out permanently. That's it. There's no more reviews that can be done from your case. And I've opened up 4 other tickets since then, still asking for proof. And because that review community department is separate from actual Amazon, there's no phone number that even a senior level manager can get a hold of. The only thing they can do is the same thing that we as customers can do, of put in an email ticket and hope for the best that they actually respond. So, you know, I'm not going to do really any more paid reviews because of that issue. And frankly, if you're a company that's wanting to do a review, send it to me for free. I'll do the review, and then you have a review. Like, you can do unpaid reviews on Amazon as well, because I do them all the time now on products that I've actually done in the past. I just don't order them right now. So it's not like you can't do it. So if they're going to do a review, just send out some review units. I even told like a couple of the companies, if you want to do a review of an item, send a 200-gram spool or something like that. You know, something that's made just for review. You don't have to do a full kilogram. That'd be awesome. But if you're worried about sending too much product out, then send smaller batches. But don't send these like little filament sample packs. It's like 20 grams. You can't print anything with it. Send a small mini spool. I don't even know where it's at now. But like the ones that come with the K280, they sent 200-gram spools. That's more than enough to be able to do a review on, to see, you know, does this meet the minimum specifications that you're saying the filament would meet, so that I'd say yay or nay, you know, let's go for bigger projects, you know. That'd be plenty enough. But I don't know. They see that as too much of a liability, so I say, well, then I guess you're not getting a review from me. Find somebody else. Anyway, that was my rant. Sorry. Well, hello, Zimmy. Welcome. Now, for this sample, this master spool kit that I've got, they do have a center column that's made more for samples. What size? I mean, I think that he offered all the files so that you can kind of mod your own at the same time. But what's his name? Neary's today's 3D print. This is his master spool for samples. I mean, it's the 2-part spin. You know, it's got the embedded chamber, but that's what he built this one off of. I just don't like that it's got such a big center ring. But as I was getting ready for all my samples, I put them on this thing, and like right now I've got my ABS sample pack from, you know, the Wish free 3D or $1 printer. So, but yeah, this thing works pretty awesome for like small amounts. So they kind of have one. I'll put this in the link below as well before the end of the night, because I have to find the link. But it's on Chris's Thingiverse page if you end up browsing through his. Oh, Mr. Buttram, you did actually show. Awesome. Thanks for the sub. I don't know if you were hanging out before, but... Oh, yeah. I looked right over your name when you were the one that was talking about the different sizes of the master spools. Sorry, my brain's not all here tonight. It's too hot in this room. Oh. But anybody else going to Murph this year? I'm gonna take all the boys with me. A couple of streams ago, and even on our Twitter page, we showed off the Techie Dad shirt, which I mean I'm washing right now, so not on me tonight. But we got my official shirt. The kids got their Techie Kid channel shirt, which that's one of my sponsored channels there. If you guys go to our YouTube page, see the kids putting some stuff together. Nice. $30 miles away. Wow. It's not too bad. It'd be pretty cool to live all the way out there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the area. But on paper, it looks like it'd be pretty awesome to be only 30 miles away and be able to go every year. Yeah, I think it's going to be, for me, because I'm here in Rogers, Arkansas, I think it's going to be 13.5 hours to drive up. So, that'll be fun. Scott, you're always welcome to cut across Texas to here, and then you can just park, and then we have one open seat in the van, as long as you don't mind a dog trying to get into your lap every now and then. I mean, we can tag you along. $17 degrees. Woo. Yeah, it snowed here the other day. It was really light, but you can see a little bit out on the ground, not much. But it's what, 38 degrees right now, so now I just got to get some better ideas for a maker coin. Sub-Zero next week. Ooh, man. Well, yeah, I plan to like try to help help you with the office. I just don't know how logistically I'm going to make it work. Got to come over and help claim like a corner of the office for me. Wonder if I even have any pictures of my old maker coin. Yeah, I know, Scott. He beat me to the punch. I was almost thinking of, instead of doing like a wheel per se, to do kind of like the Matter Hackers octagon, right? Or is there a hexagon? I think theirs is a hexagon. To do just kind of like a tile, you know, instead of trying to do like rounded edges and try to make it, you know, where it's nice and like that, like just straight do like a little hexagon tile and drop it in there and just kind of that be it. But I don't know. Yep. Awesome. Yeah, Scott does have my my best quality maker coin that I had at the time, and I haven't printed any since then. So that was that's the last edition right there. And it just basically is the little cogged wheel. It's got little beveled edges, and then does the flat plateau drop in, and then have the logo right in there. Doesn't dip in very much, but it's pretty cool. I pretty much followed Angus's from Maker's Muse, his tutorial on how to make one, and then just kind of between him and Joel, 3D printing. Because oh, wow, they are both Joels, aren't they? 3D printing nerd, the one with the glasses, not the one from Malta. Hey, there's an idea. Stop sign octagon with Techie Dad in it. Yeah. That might be a winner right there. I mean, because it doesn't need to be anything like super special, but I just figured do something a little bit different just because everybody else all have the you know, like a handle gear or, you know, something like contoured. And I was trying to think of something like a carabiner or something that was like more practical, that even if it took a little bit longer to print, though I don't want it to take too much longer, but something, you know, like useful that's also a print, so it's not just like a showpiece, but it could be like a practical, you know, marketing thing. But like if I tried to do the carabiner, you can't really fit the logo on it that anybody would recognize it, so it's kind of like, eh. Oh, one is Joe and Joel. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking both of them were Joel. Well, they both start with a J-O-E, so I guess I only forgot the L on one. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I don't think the Maker Noob, that his is Joel, but I guess it's because it's not, so yeah. That's probably why it sounded a little weird in my head. Do a merged star with the octagon. May have to have you send like a crude drawing and get the idea, because right now I'm not really visually mental about it. Maker coin and become a bottle opener. I've seen the ones that you can print your bottle opener that the only thing you got to do is put like a penny or yeah, I think it's a penny that you're supposed to put in it, and then you can like pop open just about any bottle. I thought that was kind of funny. Might do something like that. Who knows? I really wish this overseer would work. I gotta figure out what I did wrong. But yeah, I'm working on the new edition. Where's the tab for them? Okay. So basically, let me get over to it. For those who haven't seen it, this is basically what it'll do is you can get a web page that you can do like multiple camera feeds and see them all, and it gives you the little bit of Octoprint stats like right in it. Hey, app people, welcome. I just got to figure out what I did wrong on my install, because I keep getting that some error occurred. And then he just updated the edition, because it used to be version 0.9 and now it's 1.0, and he changed a lot of stuff. So I got to figure out what I did wrong, but this thing was pretty awesome that I could put it on the screen for you guys and then just have it all be there. So hoping to get that fixed here pretty quick, and then we'll have that going. But just in case you were wondering, I actually run, this is supposed to be for a Pi, or you can do Windows, obviously, but like this was made more to connect with a Pi, just because it's so lightweight. But I use it in a virtual Pi that I actually run a couple different things off of, a couple different instances, so I don't have to dedicate an actual Pi to do the stuff. I've got my desktop that I can virtually run all these different Pi specific, coatings and get the same effect out of it. Just make sure I don't put it on sleep mode, and everything works. I don't do that with the printers. Those are actually physical Pis. But, yeah. Might have to order some more and get some more things going. Well, it is 20 minutes past when I thought we were going to go to, but we are only 8 people away from setting up another giveaway. So please share. I won't put out another post about it, but yeah, share the wealth, share the stuff. And we've got a plan for a double Ultra Base giveaway. It's just the glass Ultra Base top, but one is the CR10 large size, the 310 by 310, and then I've got a 220 by 220, but it's not a official Ultra Base. It's the Ultra Base clone from CC Tree, but it looks identical. I mean, when you hold them side by side, the only thing you notice is there's no Anycubic Ultra Base like white printed on the CC Tree one. So it's the only thing I see the difference of. But yeah, so I'm planning for 2 different giveaways. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll hit that 100 subscriber mark here real quick. And who knows, maybe even by next Saturday we might be able to do it. But yeah, y'all have fun. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you next week.